So the 25 pieces and the God-dog connection, and if, let's say if a viewer needs to get off to work now or get family off to school, what's the best way someone could either learn more about the God-dog connection or get in touch with you to learn more?
I have a website.
Okay.
That's very simply the God-Dog Connection. You can hyphenate God-Dog or not. You can put Z in front of it or not. It's pretty much any way you want to type in the God-Dog Connection. And of course, it's www. And that website will allow you to learn a little bit more about the book. You can email me directly. I'd love to hear from them.
Good, yeah.
It's also available through major stores. It actually, very interestingly, I published independently and sold 5,000 copies just basically word of mouth.
No, just on your own. Wow,
yeah.
Great. Before you had the website and everything?
And I had the website for most of that, but it was before I didn't do any publication of it. It was just people telling other people or giving it as a gift, and then somebody else would say, oh, I want that too. So that was when my employer at the design group, Barry Doss, got involved and said, let's take this national.
Yeah.
So it has gone national now.
What's that like rolling out from now? You said actually you were still in Indianapolis when the book came out.
Yes,
is that right? Okay, so you'd done but you were really able to figure out when you got to Aiken or Barry and you together, we can do more with this.
Well, I took it around to local stores, and they were very receptive. Aiken is wonderful that way. It celebrates its authors and artists, and people creative expression really in any way. They celebrate you more for the fact that you did it rather than what the product was. So that it's been very receptive.
Yeah.
But also where I had it printed was at Abbey Press, which is a press that supports St. Meinrad Archabbey School of Theology, which is in southern Indiana. Happened to be a client of ours. So I knew about them. We had done some printing through Abbey Press. So they really, really wanted to print it. We could have gone to Italy, China, Canada, which will print hardcover books much less expensively, seriously less expensively, but Abbey Press really wanted to do it, cared about the book. That's why I published it independently. Other publishers would just wanted to kind of buy it up and say, thank you very much, and we'll take it from here. And I did not want to let go of that. So I hired one of our designers from the design group to do the design work on it. And they published it because they printed it. Because they printed it, Abbey Press Catalog, which is also another arm of theirs, found out about it. They've carried it. That was its first national exposure, and they've sold a significant number. So again, I think it was God tapping me on the shoulder saying, here you go, you help support this Archabbey, and we'll sell more books for you. So it's been a fun thing.
I think you brought along a copy of it. This may be is this the second edition?
Yes, it is.
This is, and of course, for viewers there, and of course, it's got a great shot. I hope folks can see that well. Just a great cover shot there, and I'm so glad you brought it. The same good look here on the cover in the second edition was there at the first one.
This is identical to the first, with the very minor exception of the end sheet papers. It's a little different color, but that's the only thing. And there was one typo in it, which was driving me crazy. So I had to correct that from the first version. But no, it's been real fun.
Well, it's a gorgeous book, and obviously you pointed out that folks here in our viewing area in the PD and southeastern North Carolina and here on the Strand could get copies of it.
Yes, either online if that's the easiest for them, or as I said, there are some national bookstores that carry it now. And Amazon.com.
Amazon.com is very popular, that's right. Or they can go online to the GodDogConnection.com to see where some of those stores would be, or otherwise get in touch with you. Things I've learned about God and faith from the dogs and cats in my life. So you actually have something to do with cats too?
I do.
Wow.
And actually half of the stories are about cats. I have loved dogs and cats all my life, and sometimes I've had more of one than the other. Right now I'm balanced. I have two of each. But the two cats are featured in the book, but the two dogs are since the book. But they all feature animals that have been in my life in some way or another.
Of course, for real true dog lovers and cat lovers, they know that you've got 25 stories in there, and so if half of them are one, so that means one of them had to get just a tad bit more.
There are several that are interaction actually between the two. In fact, one of my favorite stories, and I can just summarize it for you.
Yeah, please. We got about 5 minutes here.
Okay. There is a lot of humor in the book, but I had a dog named Pooh. Pookie, who's featured on the front cover of this. And Pookie was a very, very smart dog. But as she got older, she had a little incontinence problem. Part of it was if I was late getting home from work or because of her health. So I never punished her for it. I just got washable rugs. But she was still very embarrassed by these little indiscretions. So her solution...
You could tell she was embarrassed.
Yes. Oh, yes. Anybody who loves the dog can read all of their emotions.
Right.
But she would... her solution to the problem was she would go into the cat litter box, get a little cat poo, and place it right next to her indiscretion on the rug, so that when I got home, apparently I was supposed to think that the cat did it.
Right.
Or that it was a joint venture, not just hers alone. And so the faith, and she felt very comfortable that she had solved the problem, that she had fooled me with this.
Sure.
So the faith lesson that I think too often we try to fool God of our own mistakes by dragging in other people's, indiscretions along with it, and rather than take responsibility for our own actions. And of course, that's how silly we are to try to fool God, because we can't, and no amount of poo is going to ever change that. So that's just one of the 25, and so that's the interaction of dogs and cats.
I love it.
Yes.
So there is a little overlap.
Quite a
so
bit.
you will not let the secret out who got more stories or not, because
I
it's not
think
really
it's pretty
a
well
secret.
balanced.
It's very well balanced.
But of course, you
That's
can't
great.
get. Now here's where we're talking about how words look.
Yeah.
Here's a perfect example
Right.
of how they can interact together.
Sure,
and
I'll
how
hold
they
that back up. Share with that. When
Yes.
you say how they interact, you mean just how easily...
The guide dog, and it's the connection that I think there is a true connection between the animals in our lives and the lessons that God is trying to get to us.
Right.
He's just using our animals as one more way to get through to us.
Absolutely, let alone that God spelled backwards or dog spelled backwards.
So many people are
and
thrilled
you love
with
cats,
that. Yeah.
But at the same time, cat spelled backward is
Didn't
what?
quite-
Tack?
You're right. And everybody says, oh, isn't that indicative? Isn't that just, something that God has spelled backwards? Dog? Well, in English it is. But you have to think, of course, in other
That's
languages
true.
it
Yes,
is not.
yes.
But we couldn't not take advantage of it from a graphic standpoint.
That's great thinking. That is great thinking. Of course, going through your own relationship, you've got dogs and cats, or
yes.
you've got both. That's
Yes,
right.
2 of
You
each.
said 2 of each now.
I
You
thought
did
when
say
I
that,
moved to South Carolina, I'll get a little Jack Russell or a little terrier that's so prevalent there. And so I have 2 that are approaching 60 pounds apiece.
Is that right?
I take
Wow.
whoever needs me, whoever wanders into my yard.
They travel with you a good bit. I know they probably didn't come in last night.
They
for your
didn't get to
interview
come this
early
trip,
this
no.
morning, but
But I love to take them wherever I can, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a. And growing up, did you have dogs and cats,
Always.
birds, everything? Your
Well,
parents
not so
were
much
into-
more the traditional dog and cat
Right.
situation, and mostly dogs. I always had a dog in my life. Didn't really have my own cat. I had family cats, but not my own cat until I was well into adulthood, and then just discovered the absolute delight that they can bring into your life. They are just fabulous, and I think they have wonderful, wonderful lessons to teach us if we just pay attention.
Everyone can have dogs and cats. I mean, do you think they work well with virtually anyone? Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been involved with pet ministries, which again we can talk about tomorrow if you want. And we have had, in one that I started, we had a woman who hadn't been able to own an animal for quite a while because of where she lived. But this was her way to stay in touch with them, was to belong to this pet ministry.
What is that? We've just got a couple of minutes now, but I'm sure viewers, if they can't be here tomorrow, they're thinking, I want to know about pet ministries.
It's actually it's an extension of this book. I've written 2 companion books. That one is how to start a pet ministry, and the other one is how to use the book in a small group study capacity. And a pet ministry is growing in faith through a shared lesson or a shared love of animals. But then you can take that out into the community as well to draw in people who wouldn't necessarily otherwise go to church. You can also use it for grief support for people who have lost an animal. You can help them go make that last trip to the vet, which is very sad. You can visit hospitals and nursing homes for pet therapy.
Right.
It's ministry through pets, through animals, and through really your love of animals.
Right. How special.
It is fun.
And that's all over, not only the state, all over the country.
Actually, I helped get several started in Indiana, led one, and then have had numerous folks contact me through the email website address that I gave you, just because I mention it just on the jacket, and they say, hey, how do I do that? So I got so many requests that I thought I'd better put these into small guidebooks as well, to be consistent with how it can be done. And those are just about ready to come off press and be available through churches probably, or through the website.
Sure. How exciting, Marty. Did you have brothers and sisters growing up?
Yes, an older sister, a younger sister. They're equal animal lovers. So are my parents. My dad was raised on a farm, so he had a little harder time getting used to cats in the house, not so much dogs, but he's an absolute animal lover. We all are. My grandparents, I mean, just so it comes through me genetically.
Is that right? Yeah, I'm thinking about that, Marty. And of course, for a lot of folks, they either grow up with animals, oftentimes dogs or cats, or they don't.
When they discover it as an adult.
If they discover it as an adult, it can be a great realization.
It's an amazing relationship that you can't have with people. It's just something that's totally different with an animal. And as I said, I think God is a really good teacher, and will use any method available to teach us lessons. And animals, especially in today's society, when they're such an integral part of our lives, that I think they're there to help us, or just to let us love them and be loved unconditionally.
Right, right. Those are great words. Thanks so much for being with us this morning, Marty. I'm sorry we've run out of time. We'll look forward to getting back here with you tomorrow. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Marti Healy, the author of The God-Dog Connection, coming up next. Do you love animals? Are you searching for more in your spiritual life? Do you think animals can really help you connect to God? There's a lot of great questions. I know Marty answered some of those today. Hopefully you'll come back tomorrow to be with us to hear some of those answers. If you can't be with us tomorrow, take the time to go online to thegoddogconnection.com, or you heard us say it, just God Dog Connection or God-Dog Connection, whatever it is, go there, thegoddogconnection.com. She said it off camera. It makes a great Christmas gift. The God Dog Connection. Go online, check it out. Marti Healy, doing it every day.